I won't be led astray,
and nothing will stand in my way.
Yo, what's up, man? It's your guy Ray Hama. One versus a million. One versus a million. Understand that. I'm not your fan. I'm not your stand, for I am brother. Hit the like, share, follow. As you guys already know and have seen, the passing of, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated at Utah University. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to play the video before I've seen it. And yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have already. If those haven't, but yeah, fucking wow. Like yeah, um, I'm gonna just give my thoughts, the truth on this. Before I share these videos that I do have, but and I'm gonna tag him in here too, President Trump, because this is diabolical, man. This is too much. This shit is too much. And some, thank God, who have shown on other panels that I've seen, that was going on earlier, to show that they show that they have, like a good keen sense on things, that they're able to see, the multiple layers of it. And what this shows on a deeper level is that the left and all those who are against family, the natural family structure, the traditional family structure of how it should be, according to God. And he's a man of the Most High God. May God bless his family. And all those who are just openly expressing their hate for him and all that, trying to trample on, dance on his grave, like I done Kevin Samuels. With Mr. President, can we say let's go to war? It is time. It is time for us to stand up against this bullshit, against the ways of the left, against those who are truly trying to bring this country down, like to nothing but rubble. We have every damn right to fight against those evil demons, and we will. Videos, I will tell you this: if you are on the same page with me on this, cool. Hey, mount up, do what you gotta do, get armored up, hey, because that's the hell I'm on. Get armored up and prepared, hey. Yeah, get some training, some martial arts training if you need to, weapons training, the whole nine. Because it is wartime, my fellow straight back black men, SBBM. It is wartime, Mr. President. So how many more deaths we got to go through before we just say F it and just, it's time. It's time to rise up. No, it's been time to rise up. The time to rise up was like yesterday. And I reached out to you, Mr. President, over similar shit, similar situation of evil trying to silence the damn truth. And I'm saying no more. Gentlemen, those of you, hey, you do what you do. Act like, hey, there's nothing, to worry about. Oh, we're not at war and shit. As I heard some of you say, well, yeah, that's you, motherfuckers. All right, yeah, let's let that be clear. That's you, motherfuckers. For those of us know, we see it. The truth is, motherfucker. Hey, guess what? What if it was Candace? Yeah, like they say, what if it was Candace Owens, a black woman? And like a lot of motherfuckers said, hey, then cats would have been rided up and all that shit, ready to go. Could have been her. Point is, it could have been her in that position or anyone that was speaking against all these those on the left, all those evil bastards who are against family, who are for that LGBT clan. All of them are that wicked ass world who is trying to oppress those of us who are trying to live in the upright way through the Most High God, the Lord Jesus Christ. And those of us who is not ashamed to bear His name, the Most High God. I tell you this, Stan. When you feel, hey, when I no no, when I feel like, hey, when I believe whatever the situation is, when I believe that, hey, there's about to be a spark of someone, hey, to just want to come at me with that whole gynocratic, um, evil ass democratic energy, Mr. President, I'ma react. I'ma do whatever the fuck it takes to protect myself out of fear of my own life and those who I love. So I'm gonna do whatever is necessary to protect my damn self against these evil ass fucking chaos goblins, sir. The same sons of bitches who attacked you, yes, as you said in your statement towards this. Yes, that these are the same motherfuckers that try to attack you. They are the same world and of that same mind. And those same motherfuckers of that same mind, damn it, of that big ass hive mind of deranged, emotional, fucking can't take the truth bastards with no impulse control, believing them and they should invoke violence, damn it, whenever the fuck, when a motherfucker don't agree with them and shit on some high class narcissistic shit, so to the point where they feel like they gotta beat their ass or shoot them. No, sir. No, that shall not happen with me. I shall get armored up, sir. Yes, sir. I shall get my Jack Bauer package. Best believe that. I said it before, damn it, and I mean that shit. I'll put all my life force on it. So I do have the power and know-how to apply patience when need be. And for this, I will. And I will use all my training necessary to make sure evil is banished away from me. And I hear you motherfuckers on here too, talking about, there's things he said against black people, black folks. Well, I didn't see that kind of energy in the debate. In the debate, one of his debates I saw. I didn't get that Nick Fuentes kind of energy. Fuck him. Fuck all those who are against the natural order, the natural structure of how God intended man and woman, whether you're black or white. And reality is that there are people who are on the left, the wicked ones, the chaos goblins. Yes, they're made up of those who are black and white and other nationalities. The same thing that happened to, unfortunately, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, is the same motherfuckers that try to attack you, Mr. President, who try to take your life. And are the same motherfuckers of whom that did the shit to me, what they did to me, pointing a gun at me because my elder sibling couldn't take the damn truth being told about his damn self. No impulse control. Thought it was cool to use his new toy as an instrument for his bullying. And guess what? And this leads to what? Also, Mr. President, who needs to be punished, is a lot of those wicked bastards in these police departments. Yes, sir. Because they're the ones of whom allowed him to let go, but arrest me, the victim, the brother, who told my brother, the older brother, the truth. They let him go. The one who pulled the firearm on me. So so these people who are in our families, those who you know that may have a tendency to do that, to react in such a way because you know them, and if you tell them the truth, they're going to get violent with you and shit. No, you have every holy right before God, in heaven and out of heaven, them to lay God's hammer on their ass. Do you hear me? I'm not your fan. I'm not your stand, for I am brother. Damn it! I don't give a fuck how many motherfuckers is here to hear me or not. Because Mr. President, these people got me fucked up. These democratic evil ass wicked people, as I have realized over the past 8 years, that these people have been the one that's been in my fucking way ever since, for all these years. With their with their shitty ass racial ass discriminatory bullshit towards me, because I'm a man, I'm a black man. So it's racial and gender bias. I'm tired of this shit. No more. We, us black men, we shouldn't have to suffer with this shit no more. You're in office now, sir, so you need to make that shit happen. Because otherwise, you will have a damn militia, a shadow militia within on this damn American soil, forming from this damn American soil. We will do all it takes to protect ourselves and to protect our families in the name of God the Most High, no matter what it takes. Because us black men who are choosing to rise up, being fearless, we are not afraid to go out in a blaze of glory before God. And that's how it should be.
Anyone past this point who causes pain, who brings destruction, who holds evil in their heart, those pups are gonna get purged by Bufferine without exception!
We call them Bofurine, also known as the Windbreaker.
Don't know if I could be heard because, okay, I can see now. But yeah, it's done and over. So, sir, I've reached out to you on your social, True Social, and this needs to be corrected because this man, y'all, he has a family, man. He had a family. Just like many others, especially more predominantly black men who have lost their lives because of them standing on the truth. Innocent, real didn't even do nothing, and we're tired of defending ourselves. Damn it, or giving those a damn lesson. Those who tries to oppress us with their evil. Now, some people said, hey, they're mad, so because of United, they couldn't get you, Mr. President. They end up getting Charlie Kirk. I don't know. It's not that really far fetched if you ask me, but hey, it is what it is. So something got to be done, man, because we ain't taking this shit no more.
All the enemies say, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Nothing's difficult.
Everything's a challenge.
Through adversity
To the stars. From the last plane to the last bullet to the last minute to the last man, we fight.
We fight.
We fight.
We fight.
We fight.
We fight.
Yeah, man. It's time. It is time. So we're gonna get into the response of Donald Trump real quick, but because y'all, I don't know how much more of this shit I can take. From that to being worried about being gunned down because you're standing on the truth, because you're not following along with some shitty ass agendas that are trying to force down people's throats, as we can see now with such high level of violence that was displayed earlier today, Mr. President. What must be allowed is ass whooping time. Yes, for those to get all the good, glorious, masculine principles, all filled with godly power. Damn it, that's laid upon those who dares and tries to be on some tyrant shit. And who want to be saboteurs of progress and prosperity. No more, I said. Here we go.
All right, everyone, you are watching live now from Fox. Again, we appreciate everyone continuing to join us during this breaking news of Charlie Kirk, dead at the age of 31, shot and killed at a rally in Utah. And now we are learning that the suspect, well, there is no suspect right now under custody because the police says they had someone detained. They were questioning that person, but that person has now been released. So that is the new information that we have. It's been really a back and forth between the FBI, the local police officials there on the ground, and we are still waiting for more of a clear direction from this investigation. But this was the moments just a little bit ago, and the governor as well as the police giving their update and saying at the time that they did have someone detained, but unfortunately, that is not true anymore. That person has now been released. So we will keep an eye on this for you right here on Live Now from Fox. All right, moving on. I want to take you now out to the White House because we are getting word that we have some video now of President Trump with a recorded statement on the passing of Charlie Kirk. Let's listen in.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory. May God watch over his family. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Yeah, man. So, like I said, Mr. President, you need to work on putting on focus on those corrupt ass public officials within these damn departments. Because a lot of them motherfuckers could be agents from the left. But like someone said before, I think it was common sense. But I think he mentioned it, some time ago, that now the Democratic Party has basically made themselves into being a criminal organization. You might as well say shit. From all the shit, man, I've seen and heard about these motherfuckers, man. Yeah, have seen the damage that they've done to this American society. It just pisses me off. But he spoke on it, so I mean, he's saying that he's gonna do whatever in his power and all that shit. So, I'm like, now, Mr. President, yeah, these shit needs to be enforced now. Crack down on behaviors of motherfuckers, so we can weed these bastards out. Whom will be quick to pounce on someone because of their opinion, because of them standing on the truth, the truth. The only truth that matters, but the word of God. No, we have every right to fight. And that man died standing on his principles, which seems to me to be holy, godly principles. As you'll hear in one of the debates that I'm about to play. So check it out. If anybody wants to come up, let me know. I'll drop the link.
I wanted to start this video off by saying rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. God bless him and God bless his family. And earlier I covered the news of Charlie Kirk being shot, and while I was covering that news, it was announced that Charlie Kirk has passed away from being fatally shot at an event that he was hosting in Utah.
Fair use.
I had exercised, and after I worked out, I took a shower, and I was laying in the bed before I was going to start making videos this afternoon, and I was laying in the bed with my wife and daughter. And the first thing I seen when I opened my eyes was Charlie Kirk being fatally shot for things that he's saying, not things that he's doing. There are people doing evil things in the world, And while Charlie Kirk was putting on his T-shirt today, putting on his belt, getting ready to go to work, kissing his wife goodbye, assuming that he would see his kids later, during that same time, somebody was loading up a gun, deciding that because of some of the things that Charlie Kirk is saying, not doing, they needed to kill him and take him away from his family, and at 31 years old, take him away from his future potential. And I just don't understand that. I obviously don't agree with Charlie Kirk on everything, but like a man, we both have families that we need to get home to, and we both understand that, so we find common ground.
Exactly.
And as men, we work with
And
people
nor
that
should
we
we
don't
have
agree with
to be
sometimes.
100% with each
And I
other.
think that Charlie Kirk did good work, and I want his work to continue
Man.
to ripple. I remember 4 years ago going on Instagram, going on TikTok, all these different apps, and just seeing his short form content and how he started to question some of the things that these people at these colleges were learning. And I think that's the whole point of college, to question what you believe, not to just echo chamber what you believe, but to be questioned about what you believe. So his pursuit of that and him doing his thing in an open air environment because he trusted humanity, that as humans, we could at least relate to the point that we want to get home to our families. And unfortunately, there was somebody, some lunatic today, not to be announced. We don't know who it could be. But some lunatic today decided that some of the things that Charlie Kirk was saying was so offensive and made them so emotional that they needed to kill Charlie Kirk today. And that's sad. And if there's some way I could donate all the money that I made from the live stream, and if there's some way I can donate all of the money to his funeral or to the services or to his family from that this video makes also, I'll do that. That's not a problem to me. But let's go ahead and get into the video. Charlie Kirk versus feminists. Are we still living in a patriarchy?
I'm wondering what your intentions are. Sorry, I'm new to you in this, and I was just intrigued.
No more talking to these motherfuckers outside.
Hear from different ideas and see where we agree and disagree. So.
Yeah. What's like your purpose though? Like communication, yes, but like what ideas are you trying to bring or like help people understand?
Conservative ones, traditional
like,
American ones.
Oh, okay. Like traditional conservatism or like modern conservative right wing, because they like switched.
I don't like labels,
50
so you can ask me about a topic.
Oh, cool.
So yeah.
Okay.
I think there's only two sexes, no genders, infinite personalities. Life begins at conception. We should deport all the illegals, right?
Yeah.
So these are just some of my
To
opinions.
be honest, those are basic ideas that were seen as normal 15 years ago. But because people have been so radicalized by just these social media apps, who, by the way, were deemed biased, especially in the last 4 years, there have been plenty of articles talking about this. These algorithms were pushing biased content to promote a certain political narrative. That's been said to be true now. So we know that to be true. And the fact that they were able to do that in a time where people couldn't combat these ideas. And so people became so emotionally attached to these ideas that over the last couple of years, as people have been able to have the free speech with Elon Musk buying X, and I don't want to make it too political, but with him buying X and different other things put into place and people being able to speak their opinions and challenge these ideas, the people who have become so emotionally attached to these ideas seem to be becoming more violent because they can't use their logic to defend what they believe.
So you think it'll like
Right,
make
and we
the
gotta stop
country better?
protecting them
Like
ass.
what are you?
Yeah, I mean, I hope that
whooped.
number one, I want to support our amazing Turning Point USA chapter here, where they
Right.
feel outnumbered and isolated. Number two, we're promoting our event tonight, so I hope you guys show up. Where's our event? It's like in the Montezuma Hall or something. Yeah, it's great. Montezuma Hall, Montezuma, whatever. And number three is I want to see where I might be wrong, strengthen my arguments, and anybody can say anything to me. I think that free speech is the last best hope we have in Western society.
Nice. Okay. Then I have a question about like women's rights
Please.
in America.
Free speech is so costly. Sometimes it costs people their lives. And there are a lot of people who are on X right now. And some of them, a very small minority, let's be clear about that, are cheering on Charlie Kirk's death because they believe that they are activists and they don't take any action. This man was willing to put his money where his mouth is, build this platform, go to colleges, put his neck out there, allow for anybody to come up and people that disagree with him to come up and have conversations with them back and forth. And even though I don't agree with everything that he said, that's real activism. How he went out is how everybody I know to be real activists went out. And those few people who are cheering for his death on Twitter, those aren't activists. Those are virtue signalers who don't really believe in anything, so much so that they're not going to put their life in front of what they believe. They won't even put a profile picture in front of what they believe. They just want to incite rage because they are retards. And that word used to have some utility in this country, and I think we need to bring it back to describe specifically, especially people like that.
I just want to hear what you think,
Sure.
like where you think we're at, how you think we could better them.
Can you, just so I know where you're coming from, can you tell me what is a woman?
Oh, that's a great question. I would classify a woman as somebody with a womb and or
Very
a
reasonable
vagina.
response.
Sometimes
Okay.
people are born with either one or the other, but.
Very
Good.
reasonable
We
response.
agree, yes. So as far as women's rights, I don't separate rights based on sex. So you have to tell me what you mean based on that. So.
Okay.
He should have asked her one right that women don't have that men have. Because I can name some rights that women have that men don't have, including the right to vote without having to register for selective service. Women have reproductive rights. In majority of the states, women can choose to abort a baby or give it up for adoption.
Give me a
while
like.
man
You ain't got to
is
worry
held
about ads
responsible
popping
for
up while I'm
parenthood.
showing
So those
this
are just
shit.
two things off the top
Give
of
me a
my head
like.
that I can
Follow.
name that women have rights to that men don't have
With the
access
cash
to.
app.
But I can't tell you any rights that men have that women don't have.
Oh, that's interesting. So do you believe that there's a difference right now in like people's rights and
No. I mean, there's male-female differences, but there are no male rights or women. Can you give me an example
Oh,
of?
okay, like patriarchy. That's what I'm getting at. Do
Okay.
you believe that we live in a patriarchy and it negatively affects women?
No.
No.
Yeah. So, for example,
Yeah.
men are more likely to commit suicide.
Yeah.
More likely to die at work. More likely to declare bankruptcy.
Lock it in.
Women are far less likely to be in credit card debt, far more likely to graduate from college,
Yeah.
far more likely to get a high-paying job.
Men are more likely to be victims of violent crimes. Men are more likely to do the jobs that kill you.
Women are.
Men are more likely to die in war protecting the society and more likely to die doing the jobs that maintain society. If the patriarchy was oppressive to women, we would send women to war. Like Andrew Tate said, it would be a baby mama war. We would go to other countries and go, let's just put all of our women against each other in a big war and whoever wins, wins. But because men fight and die to protect women, that's not the case. And that's not even including all of the inventions that men have created to exclusively benefit women, like birth control, all the types of different contraceptives, modern female hygiene products. To get welfare programs, you damn near have to be a woman. Women can vote without having to register for the draft. We have female exclusive shelters, female exclusive sports, because we deem that those are necessary to protect. If the patriarchy is oppressing anybody, it's significantly more oppressive to men.
Do you think that that's a really good point. Do you think that the suicide rates or the depression rates and the bankruptcy rates that you just mentioned regarding men have to do with the fact that men are pushed to be less open about their emotions? They're less available to being able to communicate how they feel with others. They're taught to be more violent and be more physically harmful to themselves and others. And
well, what women have to understand is that men are natural hunters, and because of that, we have to be able to turn our emotions on and off sometimes and be able to compartmentalize our emotions in order to hunt. And because we're tasked with the duty of protecting society, sometimes we have to be capable of killing. That's why we associate bravery with the masculine, because bravery isn't necessarily not being afraid, it's being willing to do the thing even though you are afraid. So if somebody breaks into my house, I have to be able to turn off my emotions so that I can get up even though I'm scared. I have to be able to turn off my emotions so that I can get up and protect my family. So it's the same thing that women say that they don't like in men because there's a small minority of men who commit violent crimes against people. It's the same thing that most men use in order to feed women, in order to protect society, and in order to be willing to do the dangerous, risky jobs that you have to sometimes turn your emotions off to do. And it's not about not having emotions, it's about knowing when to be emotional. Most men are not violent criminals. Most men don't use their capacity for violence to harm people, especially women. If anything, if there is a man that's committing a violent crime, generally speaking, vast majority of the time, they'll commit it against men. Even in jail, even in prison, the men in there see the men who commit crimes against women as lower than, because as men, we determine that women are something that we should protect. So sure, there's a small minority of men that commit violent crimes against women and other people, but those men are usually subdued by men who are also willing to use violence to protect people. So the common consensus in Western culture has been for the past 60 years, because there's a small minority of men who harm women, men should behave like women and all crime would disappear. Young men don't express emotions like young women. The first emotion that young women feel is sadness. The first emotion that young men feel is typically anger and frustration. Young men have to learn to take their emotions in, compartmentalize them, channel them into passion and creation and being productive. So when you have a young man that's emotional, you don't tell him to just vent about his emotions. You tell him to go join a sport. Tell him to go join MMA. Tell him to be in the chess club. Tell him to go take on engineering. Tell him to take in his emotion, channel it into passion, create art, be productive, do things like that. That's how men express their emotions. I'm going to tell you right now, a man that's not productive, a man that starts to feel hopeless because he's not productive, and a man that feels like he can't change his circumstances is a man that's going to be emotional. emotional. When men feel like they have
Yeah.
the power to change their circumstances, they're
Yeah,
significantly less
definitely not.
emotional, and that comes with competence. And men don't become more competent by sitting around and crying about their problems. The man that loaded up a gun today and shot Charlie Kirk was a person that was living off of this
Yeah.
rhetoric. He was expressing his emotions, which for men typically express as anger and frustration.
That pushes them towards suicide, depression, and bankruptcy.
No, I think it's the opposite. I think that we're teaching men to be metrosexual versions of their former selves.
What does metrosexual mean to you?
Indecipherable between a man and woman.
Oh.
So,
What's a
people that-
man and woman to you? What's the difference between them?
Well, a man isn't. You're looking at a man, and I think I'm looking at a woman, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice,
right?
yeah.
and-
That was
and-
funny.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. There's
That was good.
there's characteristics, archetypes, but we have
smart.
differences.
Yeah,
There are significant male-female differences. And I think
Like
those.
what?
Well, men tend to be more assertive. Women tend to be more agreeable.
Innately or taught?
Innately, and
Innately.
I wouldn't say
Innately
taught.
based on what science?
Well, just for example, if we look at artificial intelligence scanned over 10,000 brains using a SPECT scan,
Yeah.
and was able to determine male-female differences 95% of the time of different brain functions based on basal ganglia, amygdala,
Do you know the age?
cerebellum.
Because interestingly enough, I
Ages
read
14
a
to
study.
22.
Okay, 14 to 22. I read a study recently that before the age of 10, brains are. Neuroscientists are unable to be able to tell the difference in gender based on the brain, but at a certain point, the social implications that children are taught.
Social implications more like hormones after puberty. Yeah, for a while, girls are stronger than boys until the puberty kicks in and the hormones kick in, and those are part of the things that develop your brain to be different. For example, there's a guy named Dr. John Gray who studied the hormonal differences between men and women and how they react to stress. Women alleviate stress by talking about things. Men alleviate stress by solving problems. This is one of the reasons why when your girlfriend is talking about her day and you're trying to solve the problem, she gets annoyed at you trying to solve the problem because she just wants to talk about the problem. That's how she alleviates the stress. While men alleviate stress by solving their problems, talking about the problems actually cause more stress.
When you're stressed, if a woman can talk about what she's feeling, what she's missing, what she's not getting, that will actually raise her estrogen level and her stress levels will go down. Now, if a man is stressed and he talks about his feelings, his stress will only increase. That's a big aha, because every time a man is stressed, he'll stop talking. And when he stops talking, women panic because they don't know different. And they want to go in there. What are you feeling? What's going on? And if he starts talking, he'll just feel worse and worse and worse. And if he's feeling, he's a little frustrated with her, annoyed with her, and he sort of backs off, he's mulling it over in order to let it go. Just like a woman would talk about things to let it go.
So young men have to be capable of solving their own problems.
Start making them act differently. But it's been shown that if a man or a woman were given the same. Okay, have you heard that men they have more spatial awareness, like in their brain? Have you heard that one?
I think that's probably true, yeah.
Yeah. So we learned that if women are given a month of the same practices as children that men are given or allowed to do, whether it comes to what they're playing, the media they're intaking, like what they're told and how they're told to act, that women have the same spatial awareness ability as men. So we're finding that innately the brain is the same, but because of the social constructs that we're taught on men and women and how they're supposed to act, their brain ability to activate certain parts changes. So by 14, the brain does seem different.
Have you ever raised kids?
Tell me.
Have you ever raised kids?
No, I have 6 nieces and nephews, though, men and women.
You couldn't be more wrong. If you're even around a 2-year-old boy and 2-year-old girl, it's not a matter of what they're taught. The girls are running to the dresses, the boys are running to the guns. Exactly. You know who agrees with me? One of the leading feminists of the 60s and 70s, Gloria Steinman, who wrote Feminist Mystique.
Yes,
and
I've read that.
Even she, who was like a hardcore gender is taught, when she raised her kids, she was like, oh my goodness, there is a fundamental innate difference between men and women. And it's not just brain structure.
Right.
It's testosterone, it's estradiol, it's estrogen production, it is hormone levels, it is all, and there, I could just prove it. If you sit down with a young lady, they're far more likely to talk about micro topics, and men are more likely to talk about macro topics.
Yeah.
What's the difference between micro and macro?
Great question. So if I say
micro tends to be about people, macro tends to be about things, and that's why
we
when
have
you
two
even look at the
different
professions,
spirits.
Dr. Jordan Peterson, when he first came on the scene, he was talking about this. Women tend to pick things that have to do with people, and men tend to pick things that have to do with things.
With a young lady, she'd be much more likely to talk about friends, relationships, and things that are very intimate to her. A young man would be more likely to talk about the weather, sports, or the stock market, or politics.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's not taught. That is innate. That is innate into our bioprogramming.
What
now,
is bioprogramming?
How we were designed.
Exactly, Charlie.
What do you mean how we were designed?
I mean, I believe that there's a creator that designed us and that we're fearfully and wonderfully made. And you might not agree. I was just say how you were born.
Yeah.
I could even say. Just
Amen to God on that, Charlie.
God bless you, man. God bless you.
Yes, man. God bless, God bless you,
okay,
brother.
so the creator chose that men and
God
women have
bless you,
separate
man.
roles, and it's innate.
Well, not just separate roles, but made
Jesus
differently.
Christ,
And
man.
out of
May God
being made
bless him
differently,
and
you get
his
different
family,
roles.
man.
Right. So if
Rest in
science
peace.
proves that the other way, do you rely on creator over science?
But science has done the opposite. So, for example, in a Harvard study, they put 50 women in a room alone, and they put 50 men in the room alone.
What age?
Not relevant, but around 25, right?
Relevant. But okay.
So.
No, sorry. I'm actually having so much fun. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
So if you really, I'm fascinated you think that 8-year-olds' brains are infinitely neuroplastic, but we'll get to that back to that later.
No,
So,
when they're like babies. By 8 years old, you're already going through school and you've had so many relationships. They're definitely affected.
But again, if you were right, John Money would have been proven right. But we'll get to that later. So, that test has been replicated so many times, and even the Dutch, who are like the most progressive on this, have gotten away from the idea of tabula rasa, that boys and girls are born similarly with brain differences. But we'll agree to disagree on that. But anyway, 25-year-olds were put into a room, okay?
Right.
And they said, men, what do you think about when they're alone? No surprise, sports and sex,
Yeah.
right? Young ladies, what do you think about in the room alone for 30 minutes just by themselves? They replayed prior conversations that they had. For the record, no man in the history of the species has replayed conversations that we had and thought about them when we were alone in a room.
And the only time we do that is when we're hyper emotional because we feel like being the bigger man, we let somebody get over on us. There is nothing that sit in your soul more as a man than when you feel like you did the right thing, but maybe you should have punched that motherfucker in the face. Sometimes being the bigger man and choosing the right thing just sit on your spirit. Sometimes you just go, man, we should have just fought. Situations like that will be replaying in your head for weeks. And I think that's what happens to these young men. They get slighted, they feel powerless, they go to people for help, they get this feminized idea that they should just express their emotions, and then they start loading the gun. Instead, you tell that boy to join MMA or get into the weight room, and just his confidence and his physical appearance will change everything for him. When the bully realizes he got a fight on his hands, the bully ain't gonna want to bully him no more. And when the young man realizes that he has the power to change his circumstances, that's when he's gonna feel better.
What conversation, what was this person said? Women are far more relational, micro, than men. And that's just based on how our design is.
Yeah.
Whoa. I think that you just lied that all men don't think. That's such a...
It's called a joke. I'm sure there's a man somewhere that recollected on a conversation.
Well, I didn't know that in a dialect that's a debate based on science and you're talking about a study. That would you implement a joke that's based on a
Yes,
truth?
humor is a tool of a rhetorician to try to get people, to chuckle, a little levity. So, yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let me ask you a question. Do you think testosterone and estrogen play into people's ability to have drive, ambition, feelings? Do you think testosterone and estrogen are important?
Yes.
Okay, so then if women are lower in testosterone and higher in estrogen, and men are lower in estrogen and higher in testosterone, wouldn't that, independent of society's framing, play into the idea that there are natural differences between the two?
I think that it definitely plays into the idea that there are natural differences. And I think there are natural differences. I just think to an extent that as a society, we've decided that men, because they have more testosterone, and we've known testosterone makes people more aggravated, what's aggravated, I'll just leave it.
Aggressive?
Aggressive, yes, sure.
I'll take aggressive.
Yeah, thank you. That it makes people, or men, more aggressive, that we've decided that means that men are not in control of their moral ability or their ability to choose what they're going to do. So it becomes like men have more testosterone, but they still have the ability to choose to treat people better or with less aggression. Like it's like, oh, men
aren't more aggressive than women. We just express our aggression differently. And this is something that Jordan Peterson talked about too. Men tend to express their aggression directly through physical violence, while women tend to express their aggression indirectly through being passive aggressive. So because women are less direct, they operate in the gray area of plausible deniability. A man will punch you in the face. A woman will tell you your mother never loved you until you punch her to the face. And when the police officers get there, she'll go, I didn't do anything. I don't know why he lashed out. And then they'll arrest you, and then she'll go on Facebook and assassinate your character. So women are just as aggressive. They just manifest it differently. And also, too, this should be noted, when women have the monopoly on force, like when women are in the positions where they have force, when they're taking care of the elderly and children, they are physically aggressive also. Women are more likely to abuse the elderly, and women are more likely to abuse children sexually, physically, in every single way. Exactly. Now, of course, just like the violent men, this is a small minority of people, but it's just important to note when women do have the monopoly on force and they understand that they do use physical force as a way to express their aggression too.
The ability to make those choices, that's almost like downplaying men's ability by saying that they just have to give in to their aggression.
I'm not contesting that. The mark of a true man is one who can control himself.
Okay.
Do you think that do you think there's a problem of trying to turn women too masculine?
Charlie. Ain't that right?
Turning women too masculine. What's masculine for you?
Well, let's just say not agreeable, forceful, aggressive,
crazy ass
aggressive in the best possible term, forward thinking, more macro, more visionary, less feeling based, more rational, more yearning towards reason and dialogue, and less towards compassion or the ethos.
Most feminine to you?
The inverse of that. So more on the emotion side, less macro, more micro, much more.
So women are just what men are not?
No, they're different sides of a species coin, right? So you have a human species, you have a male and female, and there's differences. So I could also posit it separately. A woman is more compassionate, a man is less compassionate. So there's two ways to word it.
Well, it all comes down to what we're geared to do, because men are the only ones that can protect society. We tend to have our gender roles, and the ideas of masculinity revolve around a person that is more likely or capable of protecting. Because women are the only ones that can have kids, their gender roles tend to, and femininity tends to revolve more around nurturing. For example, you would call a man who's a little bit more muscular, you would call a man who's fighting in the UFC against other UFC fighters more masculine, because they're displaying characteristics of a man that's more capable of protecting. But you wouldn't call it masculine for a UFC fighter to beat up on a little kid or somebody that can't defend themselves, because you wouldn't really see the second thing as more along the lines of protection. You would see it as more like brutality, senseless brutality.
No, that would be
so even a guy named Andrew Wilson, he has a channel called The Crucible, makes this argument very well. He says that our gender roles revolve around the things that are necessary for us to do to sustain society. Because men are the only ones that can protect society, our gender roles and what we consider to be masculine tend to revolve around protection and provision. While because women are the only ones that can give birth to the people in society, and you need people in society in order to have a society, their gender roles and what is traditionally considered to be feminine more revolves around nurturing and child rearing.
Right.
Do you think that there's a problem about trying to force women to be too masculine?
No, I don't think there's a problem.
Okay, well, I disagree. We have a crisis in this country. I'm curious, why do you think that we have so many unmarried young 30-something women? It's the most in the history of recorded data.
That's a good question. I don't know if I've ever pondered why we have unmarried women.
Why do you think that it's the young women are the most depressed, alcohol addicted, and psychiatric drug addicted in history?
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. The most miserable they've ever been. I'm just curious, why do you think that is?
Yeah. And they're watching more pornography than ever before, specifically violent pornography, to be exact.
I guess I would say that I think it's because like the society that we live in, right, like capitalistic, consumeristic, where there's like constant processing and overconsumption, that includes like drugs, alcohol, like the overconsumption.
So women going into the workforce a lot could create a lot of depression for them.
Yeah, same with men.
Okay, but then shouldn't women, like, I don't know, stay at home and have children and do what they're designed to do?
Men are also
Wouldn't that make them happier?
Have the most depression that they have right now in this
Yes,
country.
I agree.
So you could make the same argument for men that you just made for women. Shouldn't they
I'm
go
asking
home
questions.
and be out of the
I'm
workforce?
saying maybe the men are upset because the women that they're trying to date are more interested in taking care of cats and trying to become partner at the local law firm.
Yeah.
And they say, I don't want to get married till I'm 30. And maybe that creates a sense of despondency when a young male being raised in this country sees everything rigged against them.
So do you not believe that women should be working?
Of course, I believe in liberty. I'm just asking, has there been an unintended tragedy where we have the most financially successful 30 to 35-year-old cohort?
Women have always been able to work throughout history. There have always been female business owners, authors, women in politics, they've been nurses, they've been doctors, they've worked in customer service, they've been daycare providers, teachers, all these different things, but they still had the foundation of prioritizing family over capitalism or making money. Those women, even if they did work, worked out of necessity to contribute to their family. The women today don't want family because they want to pursue career. I think that's what he's talking about.
Gender and politics and Gen Z, and you ask about what's important to success.
They want to pursue career, glamour, and all that other vain bullshit.
Who voted for Donald Trump? What were they most likely to say makes for a successful
I hope
life?
I can be heard.
Children. Number one, women, Gen Z, voted for Kamala Harris. Where's heaven? Wow. All the way down here at the bottom. Couldn't be more opposite. Second to last for women who voted for Harris was being married. Being married, look at this, near the top of the list.
I'm coming bold with this shit.
For Donald Trump. Another huge difference, a very common answer for Gen Z women who voted for Harris was having emotional stability. For Gen Z men who voted for Donald Trump, you got to go all the way to the bottom to find that one. These are some core basic questions about how people think about life.
And so you have a collapsing birth rate and you have collapsing marriage rates because men don't want to marry women, generally speaking, at the end of their fertility. And it's funny because I just think about the amount of propaganda it would take to convince a woman that something that your body is literally designed to do, you shouldn't pursue so that you can go make money. It's like saying that a person who has legs shouldn't walk. It just doesn't make sense. Your body is literally designed to do this thing, and you don't think that you're going to find fulfillment in doing this thing?
Of young women in history.
And men.
Well, again, the women...
In history. Like, men and women are the most sick and depressed.
The women are far more depressed than the men. The men are depressed.
But you just said that the men were more depressed, and that's why their suicide
they're
and
more
depression
suicidal,
rates are higher.
and they're largely more suicidal.
So they're more
women are more likely to attempt, actually. The issue is men are more likely to use deadly force, so they're more likely to use weapons, while women are more likely to use softer methods like prescription drugs.
Suicidal, but they're less depressed?
1 sec. No, they're more successful at committing suicide than women.
Oh,
that's a big difference. Okay, women commit suicide. No, it's true.
So
women try to commit suicide more,
Yeah.
and yet women will go through 3 or 4 attempted suicide attempts. Men usually only 1. You can look it up. It's just the way it is. But I'm just curious, what is it about the 30 to 35-year-old female? Do you think there might be something missing? Do you think that there's like this biological urge to get married and procreate that we might have been suppressing? Because it is it's the childless, least married cohort in the history of the country.
Yeah. I believe that marriage and reproduction are beautiful things.
Good.
I do.
Do you think we should encourage it more for young women?
I think we could encourage like a deeper understanding of people's individual sense of self.
What?
And then through that, if people can better understand their wants and needs and become more self-aware about who they are and what they need, that ultimately they would lead them to like better and more efficient decision-making for themselves.
Okay. And
whether or not that means marriage.
Last question. You posited this. How would you define the patriarchy?
Oh, the patriarchy. So patriarchy, like the epistemology of the word.
Or just like, do you believe it exists in the country today? Or?
Yeah, I believe patriarchy exists. Patriarchy comes from pater, right? Pater means father in Latin. So patriarchy is father over or men over. So it's like a men ruling, right? So we see it in the fact that God or the divinity is represented as men, which was only happened like halfway through the history of humans. So it was like a matrilineal matriarchy society for a while. We see it in the fact that women take men's last name. We see it in the way that men are viewed.
Well, all of that stuff, even related to religion, comes from the understanding that men inherently have to lead. There is no such thing ever as a matriarchy. Even if a woman is in positions of power, the men are still going to have to do the hard, dirty, dangerous jobs necessary to sustain society, and the men are still going to have to fight the wars. So there's never going to be a such thing as matriarchy where women have a domain over men, because it's impossible. Because men, as Andrew Wilson would always make the argument, men have the monopoly on force. The underlying principle of nature is violence. To be able to eat something, you have to be more capable of violence. To be able to rule over something, or to be able to make the rules, you have to be more capable of violence. And because men are more capable of violence and men have the monopoly on force, women are forced to appeal to men to give them the rights or the things that they want in society. Women have never en masse taken up arms and overthrew a society or created a revolution. It's because they're incapable. What they do have to do is they have to appeal to the benevolence of men in society to give them the things that they want. For example, Afghanistan. When the men in Afghanistan decided that the women didn't have rights, the women just didn't have rights. And that's why feminism is a horrible idea, because it teaches women that they're powerful and adversary to men. When really women are more powerful when they utilize their femininity, and they're the type of women that are virtuous enough that men deemed worthy of protecting and being benevolent towards. Those are the women that have more power because they can weaponize men to do things on their behalf. So women are super powerful. In fact, they're so powerful that they can have their will be done by not even lifting a finger, just by appealing to the apex predator, and that is men. That's only ever the case if the men in society deem those women worthy of protecting and giving things to and being benevolent to. The women in society today promote abortion. They promote and encourage other women to be hoes. They tell women that they shouldn't have families and contribute to society by having children in pursuit of careers. And so you see the opinions changing on these things, especially amongst young men, where young men are saying, why should we be benevolent towards these types of women? Why should we be willing to go and fight and die in wars and do the hard jobs to protect society for these types of women? You're seeing all of this start to happen slowly but surely amongst the youth. And once these young people come into power, things are going to be totally different. And I don't think that's necessarily a good thing for women. So I don't think that women find power in being adversarial to men. I think women find power in being feminine and being complementary to men.
Or like men view women and how women kind of have to adhere to the way that men want them to be portrayed. And I agree with you that porn
they have to. They don't have a choice.
Toxic, yeah. And I think that's an aspect of the patriarchy, right? Like, if you go on a porn website, which I'm sure you haven't in a while, but if
Not in a while. I used to be addicted, though.
Yeah. Whoa, congrats.
And I encourage everyone to break free of that addiction. It's terrible
me
for
too.
you.
Yeah, me too. That's great. Proud of you for that one. Yeah, but if you go on a porn website, you can see that like the view of all of the porn is from the perspective of a man and it's of a woman. And these kinds of aspects show that right now we live in a society where it's a man's view, it's men over. So like we're all taking on.
The new data released from Pornhub shows that women are watching.
Hey, did you hear that accountability right there, damn it? That nice ass accountability.
Yeah, I thank you for that. First on the porn thing, 85% of people that consume porn are men, so they're obviously going to shoot it in a way that is more attuned to men. For example,
what if it was shooted for women and then they started watching porn more?
They would change the perspective because they're in it to make money. The same reason why Lifetime movies don't have rock and roll music.
Exactly.
And they tend to be very like uplifting, flowery, emotional based and hyper feminine in the writing, because most people that watch Lifetime movies are women.
What's Lifetime movie?
Okay, a Lifetime movie is like a feel-good movie on cable TV that has like a very poorly written narrative and usually ends in some sort of
like Hallmark.
Yeah, like Hallmark. That's the best way I could.
Got it.
But thank you for the dialogue. I appreciate it.
I will say, at least she was willing to sit and have a conversation, man. I just Charlie Kirk, man. 31 years old. His kids now don't have their father. His wife is widowed, and all for what? Because he said things, not because he did things that was harmful to people, but because he said things. It's an actual genuine tragedy.
Yep, and that's fucked up, man. He says, Stuart Mazo said, I wonder if Soros will put up a reward for the capture of the thing that took Charlie. He said the thing. He said of the thing that took Charlie from his family. Yeah. Man, I hope some motherfuckers can put up a reward somehow, man. Like, of some kind, bro. Like, yeah, a bounty on his head. Shit. And a bounty needs to be put up on any motherfucker's head, damn it, that takes out someone, man, that's standing on the truth, man, in the name of the Most High God. What? Just standing on truth, period. Because, damn it, I'm not for this way, motherfucker. You got to take me out. What, bitch? Oh, no. Oh, no, Mr. President. These motherfuckers got to go. Yes, like, get these motherfuckers a whole island or some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Some shit I've seen in a sci-fi movie or a show or something, man, where just wall that motherfucker off. Just create a big-ass wall. Just blocking the motherfuckers off, damn it. No entry. Anybody that wants to convert them and go over there to their fucking side, hey, you can go over there. Go through the gate. You can't come back over here in this traditional society and watch their society rock. Because they're going to kill each other and all that shit. But yeah, so I'm going to play this second video. So hopefully that didn't disconnect because of the connection issue. But yeah, hopefully I'm good. So yeah, hit the Cash App. And yeah, if anybody wants to come up too, yeah, the link should be in there still. So yeah, I'm about to play this second video. So here we go. And again, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. May God bless his family.
He died? Charlie Kirk died. It's sad. For having an opinion about things. The guy went to colleges and was having opinions. Sick world we live in. That's a true animal. He need to be locked up in a cage.
Got
He don't
rampage
have a frontal lobe.
Charlie Kirk is dead. If you're not familiar with Charlie Kirk, he's a very prominent figure in conservative politics and has been for the last 10 years or so. First, I'm going to say, praying for his family, and praying for his wife, his children, everyone around him. The second thing I'm going to say, these are really politically radicalizing times, politically polarizing times. Watching someone like Charlie Kirk, a prominent figure in politics, conservative politics, left or right, doesn't matter, getting assassinated in the modern day is something that is very, very disturbing. If you think our society is going to return to this, we're going to get along and we can have a debate, the debate is over. The conversation is ended. And it's clear from an assassination like this that there is no more room for conversations anymore. The other side does not want to have a conversation with you. They want you dead. And this is something that they have written out a long time when they tried to kill the fucking president. I'm going to say this. We do not live in times of peace. We live in times of uncertainty. Well, the one thing we must be certain of, we will not allow people to wipe us away because of what we believe in. Because
we're past uncertainty, motherfucker. This time of war.
Ourselves and not hold back and saying what we believe in. To go forward and continuously push against those who want to wipe us away just because we believe in something different or something greater beyond ourselves.
And I'm not saying Donald motherfucking Trump deserve anything he going through right now, but God's timing is always motherfucking right. Can I get an amen, some motherfucking body? There should be no motherfucking peace for the wicked. None.
So breaking fucking news. Charlie Kirk got shot in the fucking neck. That was the last bastion. I can't be a liberal no fucking more. You see the fucking comments? I hope the gun is okay. The same fucking people asking for moral decency. I cannot in good faith align myself with you guys anymore. I once had a headache. You'll be alright. Cause you don't agree with him politically? Okay. Whatever happens next, in retaliation, whoever did that shit, I hope they throw the whole fucking book at you. The whole fucking book at you. Why I did not agree with his views. When you put violence in the fucking middle of the equation, all this shit goes out the window. Everything that you stand for goes out the fucking window. Who's next? Candace Owens? Take that shit as a warning. Stop doing the fucking public panels, bro. Stop doing all that. Oh, what do you think about him? These people are fucking insane. Oh, well, both sides are... No, these people are fucking insane. Dude, things are gonna get very... Do not speak politics at all in public. Do not do that shit. These people are fucking unwell. Protecting fucking dickhead stabbing Ukrainian girls in a bus, protecting fucking shooters just because they think they're the other gender. You people make me fuck.
That video that's on my Twitter now is absolutely.
When you see their ass
I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. When I first saw that video, I thought it was AI. He's got a family, he's got a wife, he's got children.
Democrats say that Trump is starting a civil war, but they're the only ones that are making violent threats and having violent protests and causing all sorts of trouble. So who's really starting the civil war here?
Seeing people rejoice over Charlie Kirk getting shot just shows you that society lacks empathy. Like, how could you ever be happy?
Empathy, motherfuckers are evil, they're demons,
you disagree with what they say. Tighten up.
So Charlie Kirk just died.
They need to be swallowed up in
7 minutes
the
ago.
earth.
He was confirmed dead. Didn't like the guy. I don't disrespect the dead though. I thought the nigga was honestly was going to survive. It was one shot. It was one shot right here. I thought the nigga was going to survive. I ain't gonna lie.
Let's shut your beta male ass up, boy.
The dad aside, prayers out to his family. I hope the shooter's not black. Y'all just killed the Hokage of the fucking. I pray that the shooter's not black. We have been through enough.
We all against violence, we all against gun violence, but then you support the same violence that just killed somebody because he had a take that you didn't agree with. I never agreed with the nigga. I'm not happy to see another man die. Y'all are weird, bro.
But I'm starting to see that a lot of people on social media are literal monsters. Should we care when he didn't care? How I feel about people getting offed because of their social media opinions has nothing to do with how others feel about it and everything to do with how I feel about it. I don't think that you should get shot for having conservative views on social media. He wasn't a politician. He wasn't some corporate giant. He wasn't affecting your life at all.
Exactly.
So I don't care if someone I hate gets assassinated in broad daylight and the video is shared everywhere. I think that that is wrong, me, independently of who the person is. Y'all will get on this fucking app and talk down on the women who cheered on Kevin Samuel's death, but don't think you're doing the same thing to Charlie Kirk, a man with a family. Like, y'all, that's cool shit to y'all? Do y'all really get that mad at people on social media?
Motherfuckers are evil, little bro.
Are
Shit,
your
they're evil,
lives
nigga.
really that miserable? I want you all to know, unless someone has done something to me in real life, I have never wished death on anybody on social media. People have said wild things to me. People have inboxed me crazy shit. I never wish them to actually die. I understand that the internet is real life.
What are we doing, you guys? I'm not saying what are we doing, but I'm talking about Charlie Kirk, the person who is trying to educate a generation of people, has been shot on live television. If you guys could see the stuff on X right now, at this point, the Democratic Party should be viewed as a terrorist organization. The stuff that we're seeing in this country is not normal. It is an awful video. There's no way he survived that. There's no way he survived that. The Democratic Party is a terrorist group. They are a terrorist organization.
You guys fucked around and are about to find the fuck out.
You
the
late,
fuck
girl.
do you mean you shot Charlie? Oh my god, bro. They marched on the Capitol just because Trump said so. What the fuck do you think they're about to do now that Charlie Kirk is dead? First of all, the man did not deserve to die over not believing in abortion or LGBT. I'm gonna say that right now.
Goddamn, take that damn bonnet off, boy.
You stupid motherfuckers made him a fucking martyr.
It's hard to
I
listen to
actually
your ass
fuck
with
with
that damn
Charlie.
bonnet
But
on.
you
Take
see
that
how
damn bonnet off,
we all
nigga.
did all of that in DC for George Floyd? It's about to get so much fucking worse. Lock your doors and good luck to everyone supporting and celebrating his fucking death. Not me. I'm safe. Not me.
You see somebody with a MAGA hat? Pew pew. That's what we do. That's the way. It's the only way.
Let's take this back to the beginning.
Okay, guys. So I would like to start a new movement called See MAGA, MAGA, because people like that respond to fear and terror and aggression, not logic and empathy and, I don't know, intelligence. It doesn't work for them. So fear works. So if we all get our guns and use our Second Amendment right and our common sense, at this point this administration is begging us to rise up and revolt. And you see somebody with a MAGA hat? Pew pew. That's what we do. That's the way. It's the only way. Put them back in their basements, make them scared again.
You know, what drives somebody to become so extreme about half the country? Like, think about that for a second. And yes, she could have something mentally wrong with her. That is a possibility. But the bigger thing I want to focus on is the Democrats'
That bitch is evil.
Their messaging is very emotional. Rather than attacking issues, they attack people.
Rather than saying, hey, your idea sucks, they tell their base that you're evil, you're racist, you're a bigot, you're a Nazi, you're like Hitler. The party and their messaging has become very extreme. And this is one of the reasons why they're bleeding voters. But a lot of their content is so extreme and emotionally manipulative that it gets people to think things like this. Ask yourself, why were we not seeing multiple assassination attempts on Kamala Harris? Why not? It's not because she's good and Trump's bad. It's because one side demonizes the other side so much to their own base that that base then thinks that these people quite literally will destroy the country, put people back in chains, and do horrible things to people. The Democrats emotionally manipulate people on a regular basis in order to get their vote and in order to keep their vote. Again, that's why we saw such extreme measures taken against Donald Trump, but not the other way around. And this woman's also saying another thing. She likes when people were scared to come out and say they were a conservative or to support Trump because they were worried about being canceled. They were worried about losing their job. She enjoyed, all the closet conservatives back in the day. She doesn't like conservatives having a voice. She doesn't like conservatives being out here saying the things they believe in and fighting for those things. She wants conservatives in the basement quiet. I mean, when you see multiple things like this, it's just a reminder of how the Democratic Party plays the game. And again, it's far less about policy and far more about demonizing your opponent in every possible aspect that you can. And that gaslighting and emotional manipulation then incentivizes people to do crazy things and believe absolutely crazy, insane things. It's a problem because you also can't have any productive conversation. And this is one of the reasons why you'll see so many Democrats focused on simply opposing Trump no matter what. Like I said before, they currently care more about opposing Trump than they do about doing anything productive for the country. Everything is fight Trump, fight Trump, fight Trump. But they're so tangled up in their own emotional storm they created that they can't even see reality.
I mean this from the bottom of my heart in all sincerity. You was never supposed to see something like this. In your entire life, you was never supposed to see something like this. That's not okay. That's not normal. That's not regular. You was never supposed to see something like that in your entire life. And there it is on social media. And we pretending like it's normal. When I was younger, for somebody to see something like that, they had to go to a deep store somewhere. A creepy store with a creepy guy selling them on DVD or VHS. They had to go on LimeWire, ShareBear. They had to go deep on the dark web to get a video like this. But today you open up your favorite social media app, and there it is. The same app you're going on to talk to your friends, talk to your family, see cute babies and puppies. These type of videos is popping up. Crazy part about it is when I was younger, there used to be a triangle right there in the middle of the screen that you would press that would start the videos. You had to start the videos. These days, autoplay. You don't get to choose. No matter how fast you scroll through that timeline, them videos gonna play on its own. And it's gonna play loud, video to the tip top. So now you had to see it. You had to hear it. You're a couple senses off for putting trauma on your soul. I want you to think. They did a study talking about how dopamine affects the brain and how we just getting too much of it these days because of these social media apps. We got all this dopamine in the palm of my hand. It doesn't matter how much I swipe. I'm getting good stuff, bad stuff, happy stuff, sad stuff, back to back to back. It's not normal and it's not good for the brain. So what do you think this type of stuff does, huh? How many kids do you think seen this video today? How many parents do you think seen this video today? How many of his family members do you think seen this video today? People who didn't want to see this had to see this. Because it's on social media. No warning, no nothing. I think the craziest part about all of this is I saw another angle where a man was there and saw it happen. And his first reaction was to go in selfie mode. Yo, cuz just got popped. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. I live on the same
That's an evil
buddy.
motherfucker, man.
We from the same species, homie. We from the same universe. We got the same structure in our bones. We from the same species. I don't want nothing to do with that. Desensitized up here.
Amen to that one.
Your mind ain't right. Something is wrong with you that you saw that and thought, how can I get up? How can I get right on this? Let me shout out my social media. We getting sick, homie. We getting sick. I'm trying to tell y'all, we need to take some time to think about this type of stuff. You was never supposed to see something like that in your entire life. And social media showed you. I love you. Have a nice day.
In his life, Charlie Kirk had a major influence. And I'm telling you right now, I'm looking at the culture right now, and I'm seeing that Charlie Kirk is probably going to have more influence even in his death than he did in his life. I've never seen so many people, even people that look like me, so furious and fed up about this rhetoric. And the reason why this is going to resonate so much is because the man didn't do anything wrong.
I look like
He was
my
just
nigga, and
talking. He
I'm
was just
pissed
speaking
off.
his opinion, something that we are all entitled to, something that we all should be able to do. And the things that he said and the influence over the people that are about to start coming into power, I'm talking about young people. I'm talking about when he was going to these colleges and giving people a different opinion that they weren't getting anywhere else. They were paying $40,000, $50,000 to these colleges and weren't hearing these opinions, and now it's being articulated by this guy at a level they never seen before. And that's how he affected people in life. But even the people whose minds he didn't change with his words, in death, it seems like he's changing some of their mind. And that's what we all hope to live for. That's what we all hope to do in our lives. That's a life worth living.
And you see, in the times that I've caught, Charlie, was, not like that much, I've been following that long or whatever at all. But the times where I have, caught him, he's basically speaking against these non traditional family structure having motherfuckers. These evil, destroying ass bastards. And he's standing on what's righteous and for what's the natural order of things, of how things should be in accordance to God. So I was like, okay, that's good shit. From another man, hey, regardless if he's white, hey, he's speaking against he's speaking against the godocracy and their wicked ass ways. And we can also say too that of that clan, motherfuckers practice witchcraft and all that crazy shit. So I got I believe that might have been it. But yeah, man, rock on, man. Thanks, man, for coming through, y'all. Because yeah, I had to get this off my chest, man, because I was like, yep, that did it. I can't take it no more. I've been couldn't take this shit no more, man. This one just lit the match, bro. Hey, this one did it. The bomb is about to go off. You hear me? So I ain't tolerating the bullshit no more. And may God bless his family, Charlie Kirk. May his soul rest in peace with the Most High God. As a man who died standing on his principles, being assassinated by someone or by the group whom we know as those who are of the left. Because you couldn't be of what's righteous and walking in righteousness of the Most High God and think of something being done like that to a man is okay or is laughable, and think that you are what's holy. No, you're not. And so, brothers and sisters of the Hammer Force, I shall defend myself at all costs against these wicked ass individuals. So therefore, hey, I have my Pharaoh video prepared for my daughters to let them know that your father did not go out as a coward. That your father charged forward to fight against all these demons, no matter how many they were. And I did not go down as a coward, balling up, allowing these people to put their foot up my ass. Hell no. So, with that, hit the like, share, follow, subscribe. This your guy, Ray Hammer. I'm not your fan. I'm not your stand for I am brother. Hit the follow, hit the Cash App. I'm out.
Anyone past this point who causes pain, who brings destruction, who holds evil in their heart, those pups are gonna get purged by Boufarine without exception!
We call him Boufarine, also known as the Windbreaker.